To both. Hello, YouTube. How are you doing? Hello, Facebook. How are you doing? Welcome to Monday Meditation. We are in October. Time is flying. We are like mid-October. My name is Corinne Clapham, intuitive wellness coach, meditation facilitator, yoga instructor, and sound healer, Reiki master, amongst so many other amazing divine tools and modalities we are so blessed to have here on the sweet earth that helps us to move and shift through things and so we can be more balanced and in harmony. So normally on Sundays I like to do videos, Soulful Sundays, because I find like it's a very good time to tap into that. And I like to lead with a message to move us forward. I did not do it yesterday because I had the new moon awakening that was available for people. So I'm going to blend just a little bit in it today, just a little bit of talking here, and then we'll get into our meditation. If you are here on the live on the chats, please say hello. Let me know where you are from. I would love to know. If you're on the replay, you can just drop an emoji down there. Or if you're feeling a little chatty and want to see something, by all means, do it. I love to hear how you are all doing for reals. Today is Monday. It's gray. It's rainy. It's actually very perfect. It's one of those days I just want to chill out. And actually, I'm doing this from a different area of my home this time because I got a couch yesterday. A couch. I have not had a couch for probably over 2 years. That was by choice. I went through this phase a couple of years ago where I sold my furniture, my couch, my coffee table. I just sold a bunch of furniture. I wanted space in my home. I wanted space to dance, to do yoga. I just wanted space. I was feeling like things were too cluttered. And so I sold them all, and also as stuff I've had for years. And so I just wanted to get rid of anything and pass it down somewhere that had memories for me. So I've been wanting new, fresh energy. And so anyways, yeah, I didn't have a couch for a couple of years. And now that we're going into the second wave of this Corona thing, and potential lockdowns and winter, I'm like, you know what? I want a couch this time. This time, I want a couch. And so I've been thinking about a couch for a while, finally got one, and it's such a game changer. It feels so good to sit and lay on it. So I decided to do it here, and I'm actually sitting on the end that I have not sat on yet. So this is my first time here in this space and this energy and just breaking in. But the reason why I'm even sharing that is because what is something new and interesting that you are connecting with these days? Or if you're finding there is nothing new and fresh, what is an area in your house that you overlook all the time? And I've talked about this before in other videos, but is there a corner or a piece of furniture or something that you have not been giving it as much love and attention? And if there is, what can you do to make it more inviting? So if it's a piece of furniture that you never use, is it because it's somewhere in your space that you don't feel inspired to use it? Or is there a corner or a wall in your room that in your house that you never pay attention to because maybe it's lackluster? It needs a little viving up. And so you can do that without having to spend a lot of money. Quite often we have things around the house that we can brush off the dust and put it in a different area and reliven all of it. So that's a very inexpensive way to re-spark some energy into your home and re-spark some flow going on. We have feng shui, which in feng shui we always see how different areas of the house and also different areas of the room have coordination with different aspects of your life. So there's one area in the room and also in the house, because you can look at the house as a whole and then you look at the rooms as a whole. And so there's always an area that's around career, relationships, love, health, finances. And so once we start to know that, you can start to look at these spaces a lot different and to be able to ensure that you have things that are really going to reliven it. So there could be an area in your life that feels a little stagnant, and perhaps that is a way that you can get the chi, the energy flow moving. Now, I pulled a oracle card. I was going to do it at the end of the meditation, but I'm actually going to start with it because sometimes through meditation, people are in a very zen mood, and so I like to just kind of leave it there so they can carry on with it. So let's talk about this. It's a very interesting card that popped up. And this is from the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle deck. And what came up was mirror. So, who or what is triggering you? And I think this is so perfect at a time like this because we have just gone Mercury in retrograde, October 16th. What's the date today? 19th. Yeah. So it was October 16th. We went into retrograde and is going in retrograde till November 3rd, which is interesting. That's when the US elections are. We don't need to get in that conversation, but it's going to be very interesting because Mercury went in retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. Okay. And October 23rd, it's going to shift into the sign of Libra. And Libra, okay, first, Scorpio, I'm going to try not to go on a whole big spiel about it because this is what I talk about in the Moon Awakenings. And so anybody who's already attended the Moon Awakenings know this in a lot more depth. So I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet on here. But Scorpio, that energy of that zodiac sign can be very... it can be a bit tough, a bit tough, sometimes a little bit stubborn, and I'm not hating on the zodiac sign. Every zodiac sign will have shadow aspects, and every zodiac sign has really great characteristics. Okay, so, but some of the characteristics of that specific sign, Scorpio, can be a bit stubborn at times. They're very, very honest, and sometimes it can be a little bit to a fault, brutally honest. So there's nothing wrong with saying what we mean, just don't say it mean. You know what I mean? Um, and sometimes when they get a little bit feeling controlled or attacked or this and that, which sometimes the perceptions can be quite skewed on that, then they have the stingers. If you think about a Scorpio, that's what they have, right? And so it's very interesting because you'll see these energies playing out individually, but as a collective that's going on. And then October 23rd, Mercury is still in retrograde, but moves into the sign of Libra. And Libra is all about, their zodiac symbol is the scale. So it's all about justice. It's all about peace. It's all about balance. They're not a big fan of confrontation. They're very mindful of the words that they use. Are very diplomatic. And so it's going to be very interesting how the energies are going to pivot and shift just before the elections and that play out. So it'll be very interesting. What that means for us individually, usually in general, Mercury in retrograde, it's a time where the planets are slowing down. It almost has an illusion like it's going backwards. And so it's really a time, not so much like going full force momentum into new things, but more so revisiting things, reflecting on things. And that's why during this time, you'll notice usually a lot of memories will come up, a lot of emotions will come up. And it's not coming up to attack you. They're actually coming up to show you that there's still something within you that has to heal that wound. And so this is why this card, it's so interesting this was pulled, and especially at this time, because it is so rampant right now with that happening. And that's why we want to be extra mindful about our reactions, because the emotions and the thoughts and the memories and the triggers that are coming up are definitely a lot more heightened during this time. And so sometimes when people are in that space and don't realize that's what's happening, it's very easy for the ego to come in and to get into a very reactionary state and start saying things and doing things that you may regret later. So we just want to be mindful of that. And even if it means to take some space away right now, this is really, really a time to slow things down and to revisit. So don't be shy if you're feeling like you need to retreat a little bit. But just talking about this for a moment, who or what is triggering you? When we have triggers, when something shows up and triggers us, whether it's something we see, something we hear, or another person, that is indicating to us there is something there that still needs to be healed. Because if there was something that didn't need to be healed and it didn't bother us, whatever that was going on wouldn't trigger us, right? That wouldn't even exist. It wouldn't even be a thing. And so when you notice a trigger, instead of getting upset or angry, if those emotions come up, flow out. But just know that it's an indication and showing you that there is something that needs to be healed. So, really asking yourself questions, and you can ask yourself questions like a curious little child. And I find when you come from that energy, then it's not as attached. It's not as sometimes the ego wants to go into almost like victimhood. It can go into the archetype of victimhood. And so when we start coming from a different perspective and more as a observer rather than going through the thick of it, it's a little bit more detached and we can see it from a distance rather being so up close into it. And sometimes when we're very up close and in it, especially when there's a lot of emotions going on, it's very easy for things to be skewed and not see the whole picture. But when we take a step back more as an observer, then we can look at it as a whole, and then we can manage it a lot more easier. And so really asking yourself, okay, what was it that triggered me? What was it that really upset me? Because I'll tell you, 98% of the time, it's usually not that surface thing that actually really bothers you. It will always resort to something a long time ago, most likely in childhood. And you might think, well, I already healed that, or how could that come up? But I can tell you, out of all the work I have done with clients in healing on a cellular level, where we tap into the cellular memories about the triggers that show up here, it always taps into childhood. So, really questioning yourself, what is this really about? Why did it invoke this emotion in you? What was the belief system or perspective that came up that enraged this emotion in you? And what is it that you want to shift and change? Because if we don't heal or shift and change, we'll just attract another situation or another person to come in our life that's going to show us the same thing in a different way, right? So there's no sense in running. Just figure out head on. You can do it, and yeah, but that's why self-care right now is more important than ever these days. So with that said, let's jump into our meditation. If you are driving or somewhere where it is not safe for you to have your eyes closed and go into meditation, please come back and join the replay. It'll be here for you. And nonetheless, anybody else, please find a nice comfortable seat and you can close your eyes. I'm going to take a sip of my sparkling water with a splash of lemonade. Closing the eyes and bringing the shoulders up towards your ears, rolling them down back, away from the ears. Beautiful. Taking a nice deep inhale in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Another nice deep inhale, and this time on your inhale, breathing in white light from the sky above, down through the crown chakra, the top of your head, pulling it in within your body and exhaling out through your feet. Another nice deep inhale again, this abundant white light, this purifying, healing light that just melts all blockages within the body and tension, just melting it away as you breathe it in. Exhaling out through your feet, where roots of a tree are growing out down through the layers of the earth and gently wraps around a beautiful glowing heart in the center of the earth, connecting you from above, connecting you below, keeping you centered, balanced, and grounded. And anything that you release that no longer serves your highest good simply exhales out through the feet, out through the roots of the tree, into the center of the earth where it gets transmuted by Mother Gaia. You are no longer holding on to all that no longer serves your highest good as appropriate. And as there is power of choice, it is through your choice if you decide to hold on or to let go of these things. Another nice deep breath in. Just placing your left hand on your heart and your right hand around your belly area, and just tapping in and doing a little check. It's almost like you're taking out a flashlight on your life and doing a check. What is it that you feel like you are lacking the most? Normally, I encourage people not to look at the lack, but just for one moment here, what is it that you feel that you are missing the most or that you are lacking the most? For some people, it could be energy. It could be focus, it could be money, it could be love, whatever it is. I want you to take out your left hand and imagine you're holding that thing, whatever that is that you feel like you're missing or lacking. And I want you to gently blow on it as if you're blowing the dust off of it. You're clearing it off. And I want you to imagine this transforming into what it is that you do desire. So, really flip what it is. If, for example, what came up for you is lack of energy, then what you would see is this beautiful ball of energy, this healthy ball of energy. If what came up was love or romance, then what you see or might feel is this beautiful light or this heart filled with love and comfort and affection. You would see self love. If it was finances, perhaps you're seeing dollar bills, you're seeing abundance. And so once you have that there in your hand and it's glowing, and at this point it's something positive, it is something that you do desire. So now we're focusing on what it is you do want. And I want you to imagine this glowing thing starting to get brighter and brighter and bigger and bigger. And if you did not depend on it showing up in the external world, how could it show up? How can you show up to make it alive for you internally? So, what I mean by that is, what would it feel like if it was already here? Going back to the examples with the energy, here you have a ball of energy. Okay, what is it that you can do to bring energy in? Maybe it might be resting more. Maybe it's eating healthier foods. Maybe it's looking at health and where you can start implementing things that you might be depleted in the system. So whatever vitamins or minerals that is, or foods that is. If it's someone that felt like it was love, it's love here. So what is it that you can do? It's doing self-care and self-love for yourself, doing acts of love for yourself. Whatever it is you desire the other person to do for you, you can do it for yourself. It'll transpire eventually, but just focus on you and what you can do. If it's finances, perhaps it's learning things on how to save money, how to change your mentality in a positive, healthy way around money. Perhaps it's getting creative and looking at other opportunities for sources of income to come in. With your right hand, I want you to gently just also hold this thing. It's almost like you're caressing it, you are supporting it, you are nurturing it, you're giving it comfort. It's almost like you're watering it as if it's a flower or a plant. Take a nice deep breath in. And I'd like you to imagine what it feels like as if it's already here. Do you feel secure, comfort, joy, love, excitement, energy, whatever that is? Allow that emotion to amplify and amplify and amplify. And if any negative thoughts come in, you can just cancel it and replace it with something new and wholesome. And this beautiful feeling that you have, I want you to imagine it a certain texture. What texture is this thing in your hand? It's smooth, velvety. What color is it? Perhaps it's white and glittery and shiny. And this color and this texture emotes this beautiful emotion. And I want you to go ahead and place this in your heart by placing your hands in your heart. We're just going to sit here for a minute in silence. And I want you to really bask and bathe in this feeling. and allowing it to get expansive within you. You're sitting in gratitude as if it's already here in your life, in your reality. And just saying, I am grateful for three things. You can say it out loud or in your head. Take another nice deep breath in. Gently opening your eyes when you are ready. Knowing anytime you feel a little off course, you can bring back that color, that texture that signifies, that symbolizes that emotion, and allowing that to emote within you. All right, my friends, if you feel like sharing anything that came up for you in the comments, feel open to do so. If you feel like sharing it privately with me through a message, go for it. I hope you all have an amazing, amazing week ahead. Once again, my name is Corinne Clapham. Much love, my friends, and take care.